बोडके सर कॅमेरा ऑफ करा.
Ma'am, it is visible.
Yes, madam.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Bhavna madam, it is visible.
My presentation is visible.
No, whatever screen is there, that we can see.
Acha, okay. Just a minute. Then let me share the window.
Yes, madam. Bhavna madam.
Now it is visible, ma'am.
Now it is not. But आपने पहले जो किया था तब दिख रहा था.
अच्छा, मैं दूसरे स्क्रीन पर आ गई.
Yes,
एक
yes.
मिनट. अभी प्रेजेंटेशन विजिबल नहीं है, पहले था ना?
नहीं, पहले था. हाँ, अभी दिख रहा है. अभी दिख रहा है.
अच्छा, अभी दिख रहा है. But I don't know whether I'll be able to on the camera or not. अच्छा, अभी प्रेजेंटेशन और ये दोनों दिख रहा है, मैम. मैम प्रेजेंटेशन और कैमरा दोनों ऑन है अभी.
यस मैम.
कैमरा में मैं विजिबल हूँ.
या.
ओके, और प्रेजेंटेशन भी विजिबल है.
यस मैम.
Ma'am, then let me know when to start. We will start then accordingly.
Neetal madam, can we start now? I think students have joined.
Yes, madam.
Just let me check my camera once. Yes. So shall we begin, madam?
Yes, madam.
Your camera is off, ma'am.
Yeah, ma'am, I have just put it on off mode. So,
Okay.
ma'am, can you minimize please for 2 minutes so that we can begin with the program? Then you can share the slide.
Acha. Okay. Or ma'am's else I'm getting little confused as this is my like my laptop is a MacBook, so I'm getting little confused with sharing the screen. So can I share this my presentation with you and then you can show from there, because if I'm sharing the presentation then I'm not visible in my camera.
Okay, then ma'am, I'll have to ask madam because she is hosting the program for the. Yes, Neetal madam, can you share the slide from your side?
Yes, yes, Bhavna madam, share your slide
Yeah,
on
I'll
WhatsApp.
share with the
Yes, yes,
yeah
on.
share with the principal ma'am and then you can do the needful, because I'm
Yeah,
little
ma'am,
bit
because
confused while
she's
sharing
conducting the
this.
program now, she will be able to share that. So
Yes,
you
yes,
kindly share it with madam on WhatsApp.
yes. Just give me 2 minutes. I'll do it.
Yes, ma'am.
फॉलो मीटिंग पूछो बेटे.
Yes, Neetal madam, can we begin now?
Wait, madam. Bhavna madam.
Okay.
Yes, Bhavna madam. अच्छा ठीक है, मुझे आप मेल कर सकते हैं कॉलेज की मेल पर. हाँ, क्योंकि मेरे पास व्हाट्सएप मेरे इस पर नहीं है, लैपटॉप पर. अच्छा, कॉलेज ठीक है, कॉलेज का है
Sheikh madam, what happened?
Madam is asking to wait for a few minutes.
Okay.
Yes, Bhavna madam, we can start now. Even Sheikh madam.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. So shall we begin now?
Yes, yes.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Good morning and a very warm welcome to one and all who are present for this online interactive session, and I extend my greetings on the occasion of 30th Name Extension Day of Dr. BABASAEB AMBEDKAR Marathwada University. This is a moment to be cherished by all the scholars who are fortunate to study in this esteemed university. As we are today celebrating the name extension day of our university, we are pleased to have with us respected Dr. Bhavna Kadu Madam from the School of Law, MIT ADT University, Pune. I welcome you, ma'am, on behalf of the students, staff, and management of V.N. Patil Law College. Now I request our Honorable Principal, Dr. Neetal Nandedkar Madam, to give the introductory speech. Over to you, Madam.
Thank you, Sheikh Madam. Good morning, Chief Guest of today's function, Dr. Bhavna Kadu Madam, esteemed faculty of my college, and my dear student. I am here on this auspicious occasion of Name Extension Day of Dr. BABASAEB AMBEDKAR, Marathwada University, Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar, with immense pride and joy. Today we celebrate not just extension of name but the rich legacy and values that it represents. Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, a visionary leader and the architect of our constitution, dedicated his life to the principle of equality, justice and education. As we extend the name of our university, we reaffirm our commitment to upholding these ideas in every aspect of our academic journey. This extension is not just a formality, it is a symbolic gesture that reinforces the inclusive spirit of our institution. Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Marathwada University has been a beacon of knowledge, fostering an environment where diversity is celebrated and education knows no boundaries. Let us remember the profound impact of Dr. Ambedkar had on our nations and social fabric and how his teachings continue to inspire us as we embark on this new chapter with an extended name. Let it be a constant reminder that education is a powerful tool for social change and we must use it wisely. I urge each one of you to embrace this extended identity with a sense of responsibility and commitment to excellence. Together, let us strive to create a university that not only imparts knowledge but also mold compassionate, empowered individual who contributes meaningfully to the society. Thank you one and all. And lastly, I wish all of you that happy name extension day of Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, Marathwada University, Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar. Thank you so much, madam.
Thank you so much, Dr. Neetal Nandedkar, madam. Now I would call on Professor Vaishali Thite, madam, to present the introduction of our today's guest, who is also the resource person for today's function. Professor Vaishali Thite, madam.
Okay, thank you, madam. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Good morning, one and all present. I am profoundly delighted to take an opportunity to introduce our today's guest, Dr. Bhavna Tushar Kadu, madam, for celebrating 30th Name Extension Day of Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, Marathwada University. Taking a dig of work experience, presently, madam is working as an assistant professor at School of Law, MIT ADT University, Pune. Apart from this, she has worked with various leading educational institutes such as Christ University, Bangalore, Lavasa, Sandeep Law School, Sandeep University, Nashik, MATS Law School, Raipur, Govindrao Vanzari College, Nagpur. She is having good knowledge of US patent law and Indian trademark law. Talking about her educational qualifications, she has qualifications to her credit. She did her matriculation and higher secondary studies from Nagpur division in the year 2000 and 2002 respectively. Done her BA LLB course in year 2007 from Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar College of Law, Nagpur University. She has also done PG Diploma in Human Rights from Sant Gadge Baba, Amravati University, Amravati. She completed her PG course in 2010 from Sant Gadge Baba Gadge Baba Amravati University, Amravati. She was awarded doctorate in July 2018 from Amravati University with title Critical Analysis of Law relating to surrogacy in India with specific reference to gestational surrogacy, problems and prospects, a comparative study with respect to international dimensions. Presently, she is pursuing postdoctorate in new technologies and law from University Mediterranean in Reggio, Calabria, Italy. Madam is a PhD guide and many research scholars are doing their research under her able guidance. Madam has been performing various administrative responsibilities. She is invited as a resource person and as an expert at various events. She has worked as a chairperson of Board of Studies at Sandeep University, Nashik. She was the editor for Sandeep University, Nashik Law Journal. At many events, Madam is being invited as a resource person for guest lectures. She has attended various UGC-sponsored programs. Madam has participated in various seminars and has contributed research paper at various national and international levels, seminars and conferences. It's our privilege to have you as our guest, Madam. Even at the midst of your busy schedule, I welcome you on behalf of VN Patil Law College. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Thita Madam. Now I would request our guest of honor and resource person of today's function, Dr. Bhavna Kadu Madam, to guide our students. Over to you, Madam.
Yeah, thank you so much, ma'am. Can I get the PPT look, ma'am? The PPT.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So meanwhile, first I would like to congratulate each and everyone and the VN Patil Law College for giving me an opportunity to be a resource person on the very eminent personality we had in our country, on whose basis today we are enjoying all the rights and the liberties. He is the person who has given all the set of rules and the principle of equality in our country. Today we are celebrating the naming ceremony of Dr. AMBEDKAR Marathwada University. In 1978, I guess, this naming proposal was proposed, or the changing name proposal was proposed. And it took a lot of efforts to change the name of this university as Dr. BABASAEB Ambedkar Marathwada University. The many people have sacrificed their life, and I have read something about that. It was a lot of struggle, and finally on 14th January 1994, this name extension, like the name has given to this university as Dr. BABASAEB Ambedkar Marathwada University. So I congratulate that you all are very lucky to have the name of the person who is the architect of our constitution as your university name. So I'll congratulate all. So it takes almost 16 to 20 years and struggle to give the name. And if I go to the incidences, yesterday I have gone through some of the newspaper and some of the articles, and wherein I found that it was really a struggling issue, or the struggling part wherein this naming ceremony was happening. And finally, on 14th of January 1994, the name is given. Now, I'm not that much great to talk about Dr. BABASAEB Ambedkar because he is really a great personality. And if we see the autobiography or the life incidences of Dr. BABASAEB Ambedkar, then it is very inspirational. Very, very inspirational, and many people are saying that he's only working for the Dalit. But it is not so. He always think about the whole community. He's always think about the betterment. He always think about the equality. Earlier, like if we see the life journey of Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, then he has a lot of degrees. He is the very, very qualified person in our constituent assembly and in the parliament itself. I have not seen the person who is such a qualified, who is having almost an 4 PhD degree from the different universities. Sacrifice, because if he having this type of qualification, he can think that time about himself. He can run away from this country and get settled to the other countries or where he has the demand, like the USA or the UK, where he has completed his degree. He got a lot of job opportunities that time there, but he never accepted that thing. He never think about himself. He always think about the society. He always think about the equality. He always think about that this untouchability which is seen in this Indian society needs to be eradicated. And he worked in his all possible way to eradicate this untouchability. And after a lot of struggle, he succeeded. But in the present scenario also, like he tried his level best to do all these things. But now he has given the lesson, like he has wrote the proper path for the people that they should behave in this way. But in the present scenario also, there are so many incidences we found wherein this type of discrimination can be found in one or the other way. Now the Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar has did his work that time. Now the responsibility lies on our shoulder. And we should take an oath that at least being an individual, we should contribute to eradicate this type of discrimination in our societies. Now, I have gone through his autobiography, and in his autobiography, he has given so many incidences wherein the different story he has discussed. And therein one story which I found about the water, wherein, because as he's belonging to the family which is from the defense background, as his father was the Subedar, but as he's belonging from the community which is considered to be untouchable, and that time he was not allowed to enter into the school. But he was so determined, and basically I can say that, like nowadays, if we talk about this type of things, wherein if anyone is treating our children in this type of way that you can't sit with other children, you need to sit separately, no one can bear. Right now, presently, this is not allowed even, I know, because he has given this constitutional law gift to all people of this country, and we all are enjoying the fruits of it. But Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar has sacrificed his life since the childhood. Since the childhood, he has incidences, or he has faced so many incidences which created things in his mind that how can we change this society? And since then, childhood, when mother has asked, like when he entered into the school, and that time his mother said that whenever you enter into the school, now earlier it was not allowed even that time to enter into school. But his mother, Bimai, said that if you enter into the school, you may face the lot of problem. they may tease you, the other student may tease you, the other student won't talk to you, the other student will not behave good with you. But don't afraid. You just see for your determination. You just see for the whatever the educational or the whatever the educational you want to take. You can concentrate on that thing and you will definitely achieve your path. And these words of the Bhimai has make a space in the mind of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, and Dr. Ambedkar has started his journey. That time, when I read this story, then he has the first story in his autobiography. He has written about this water story, which talk about that if like all the students are sitting, all the students are sitting on the benches, or the in Ambedkar has sit and took the education. He is not even allowed to touch anything which is belonging to the others. He is not even allowed to have the water. If the he has written very nicely that when the peon is coming, his water is always depend upon, or his water break is always depend upon the peon. If the peon is not coming, then many a times Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, for a whole day, not a single sip of water he used to take. So this is very small incidents I'm sharing with you from his autobiography, where he has mentioned this type of incidences. He has also shared one incident about his bachelor life when he is looking for the home to stay, because after his completing degree, or he has went for this foreign degree on the basis of the Baroda king, and this Baroda king has assured him to give the scholarship, and on that basis they had agreed that whenever his studies are completed, he should come back and join this Baroda kingship as a secretariat. He came and he's completed his study. He came back, and then he started, he thought that whenever he come being in secretariat, he's going for that Baroda kingship. So he should come and someone will come to receive him. But no one has come to receive him. Then he tried to find out the home at the Baroda, and he found so much difficulties to have a single room over there due to his caste system, as he is belonging from this category. So there are so many incidences that we can talk about the Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, and now whatever the fruits we are enjoying today, it is his completely a contribution. Ma'am, can we go for the next slide?
Yes, madam.
Now that's the reason I'm saying that I'm not the very resourceful person to talk about the Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. As if we talk about the Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, even the autobiography, whatever the incidents he has, that incidents even took place, a discussion of a whole lecture we can discuss upon his incidences. So there are so many incidences, and it's very inspiring. And in the present generation, whatever the fruits they are enjoying, just because of him. He's the one who has talked about the Hindu Code Bill. And for that Hindu Code Bill, he's the one who has given the resignation of his post. Whatever, actually he's asked for the UCC, but the UCC was not the decision, but at least the Hindu Code Bill, at least he thought that from which community I'm belonging, that community women should take. Please mute the person. Yeah. To take the benefit of.
1 minute, madam.
Should take the benefit of the provisions as drafted, and accordingly Finally, in the 1955 or 1954, this Hindu Code Bill was passed, and presently we are witnessing the Hindu Marriage Act, the Hindu Adoption and Maintenance Act, the Hindu Succession Act, and this Untouchability Act, or presently it is an Atrocities Act. It is again the major contribution of the Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, I'm not saying that the Dr. B.R. Ambedkar is like, there are very myths we have in our social system. Many of them said that he has not contributed for the freedom fighter and all. But I'm in the opinion of this, that he has contributed a lot in our freedom from this type of evil practices which were existed in our society. He has his own commitment that time, and accordingly he has given the priority to the education. And accordingly, because he thought that if we are not educating, if we are not taking an education properly, we will not progress. And that's the reason he said, पायात चप्पल नको पण हातात पुस्तक पाहिजे. So I'm not a person to just bear with me if I'm, while contributing this lecture, if I'm having any dates here and there about his contribution. Okay, so we will start with our lecture, as I'm again and again saying that he's a very great man, and whatever from my small knowledge of world, I will try to contribute about his contribution into our legal system as well as the building of this nation. Now it is said that the third thing we must do is not to be the content with more political democracy. We must note that our political democracy cannot last unless there lies at a base of its social democracy. What does this social democracy means? It means a way of life which recognizes the liberty, equality, and the fraternity as a principle of life. And this brief proposition from Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, wherein he has sacrifices his whole life to have or to recognizes the liberty, equality, and fraternity to all the people. I'm not saying only to the Dalit people. He fight for the whole nation to have, or to this type of principles to be imbibed in our present democratic system. Ma'am, could you please go to the next slide? As I know, all of you are aware that Dr. B.R. Ambedkar has born on the 14th April in 1891 in the Indore district. The Mahu is the city wherein he was born. He is popularly known as the BABASAEB. He is the Indian jurist, economics, politician, and social reformer. He has run a lot of campaign about the Dalits, about, as I said, about the women rights. As I said, this specifically the Hindu Code Bill. If we are talking, it is again the major contribution of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Again, if you are talking about that, the many people are giving that he has not contributed in the freedom fight and all. But if we see that to run this country, the various legal system which are having in the present situation has got a birth at his time only. Now we are in this spatial security bill, the social security bill. But when he was worked as a secretariat into at the Baroda kingship, that time only he has drafted the various labor provision about the Minimum Wages Act and various things about this, the different types of schemes and all. That was again incorporated in our labor law. So that is again his big contribution that we are looking in the present scenario. Ma'am, could you please go to the next slide? Next slide.
Yes, madam.
Yes. Ma'am, next slide, please. Yes. Now, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar always said that the life should not be, the life should be great rather than long. Now, why he is saying so? I just compared Dr. B.R. Ambedkar with the Abraham Lincoln. Because Abraham Lincoln is again the person who has given a lot of contribution into the US for the black people. Because in 1776, the America got an independence, but they have not gotten proper independence, because after that also they had a lot of struggle for the black people, for the women. The women were not got the various rights. The women were like, they were not in the equality sense, or in equality they have not got so much right as of men. And there is a black-white discrimination which was exist. This Abraham Lincoln, who is the person who has fought for these people, and after fighting, like he has fought for these people, then after that we have so many revolution in case of the America also. As I'm not saying that the India is only having the problem of this untouchability that time. The rest of the countries in the world, they also had the issues about the untouchability. As this America is again and best example. Someone is unmuted. And these people, or this Abraham Lincoln, has started the revolution to give an proper recognition or the rights of equality to this black people. Ma'am, this is very much disturbing. Someone has unmuted. Could you please see? Yes, thank you. Now he has contributed a lot, and once this little recognition is given to the black people, because after in 1776 they got independence. After like in 18th century, the little recognition was given, because after independence also almost in 90 years the black people were not got any type of right over there. The women were not got any type of right. The Abraham Lincoln has started his revolutionary path over there, and finally the 13th Amendment in the American Constitution has occurred, and this black people also got an recognition about their rights. So 13th Amendment in the American Constitution is a major contribution of Abraham Lincoln. And for this purpose, because just this 13th Amendment has got, and after that the assimilation, or this, the death of, or not even death, I can say, Abraham Lincoln की हत्या कर दी गई थी after this incidents. So this Abraham Lincoln has sacrificed his life for the equality or for the independence of this black people. And he has contributed a lot into the journey of the independence of this black people. So this Dr. B.R. Ambedkar is also giving a lot of contribution. As I'm saying, if we take an example, that many people are saying that in drafting committee, if we see, there were the 7%. In the first proposal, there were the 7% who are contributing the Indian Constitution. But the TT Krishnamachari, I guess that is given, I am in the next of the slide, wherein I have discussed about this issue, that Dr. B.R. Ambedkar has contributed a lot in making of this constitution. The reason is, the first draft when they have started, that time the 7 people or the 7 members were allotted. And this TT Krishnamachari has given this type of word in the Constituent Assembly meeting officially, that the contribution of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar is a major. The reason is that out of the 7 people, the one member, he has not joined even the meeting. The 2 members were out of Delhi. They were also not joined in the contribution of this. One member was not well. And 1 or 2 members were out of country. And that's the reason the complete responsibility is come on the shoulder of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar to prepare this draft. So that time, he has not think about that these people are not contributing and why to work, or why alone to work on this type of draft. But he has think about the bigger aspect. He has think about the nation. He has think about the society where he belongs. And he has contributed a lot in making of this constitution. Now, ma'am, go to the next slide. And that's the reason that there are so many incidences which if I'm going and if I'm discussing with you the stories which he had, it is really very inspirational. And I think once in a life, everyone should read the autobiography of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. That whatever, he has sacrificed a lot. He has faced so many incidences which were very brutal sometime, which were not in the present scenario. मुझे तो नहीं लगता अभी कोई ऐसा कर पाएगा और इतना contribution कोई दे पाएगा. अगर चाहे डॉक्टर बी आर अम्बेडकर अगर चाहते थे तो तभी उनके पास काफी डिग्री थी, लंदन से डिग्री थी, उनके पास न्यूयॉर्क से डिग्री थी, कोलंबिया यूनिवर्सिटी से डिग्री थी, तो वो he can go any time in this country and get settled. बट उन्होंने ऐसा नहीं सोचा. उन्होंने हमेशा देश के लिए सोचा और यही रह के इस सिस्टम को सुधारने का सोचा, सो दैट आज जो मैंने फेस किया है वो हमारी सोसाइटी में कोई और फेस ना हो. एक और इंसिडेंस उनके लाइफ का मुझे याद आता है जब मैंने उनकी ऑटोबायोग्राफी पढ़ी थी. फिर वो भी एक कंट्रीब्यूशन है उनके, ये सब चीजें नहीं होनी चाहिए समाज में. उनकी मदर जो थी बीमाई, उनको जो रोग हुआ था, वो रोग के लिए या फिर वो ट्रीटमेंट के लिए जब उन्होंने वैद्य को कांटेक्ट किया था, किसी डॉक्टर को कांटेक्ट किया था, दैट टाइम नो वन वाज रेडी टू विजिट डॉक्टर बी आर अम्बेडकर होम. द रीजन इज ही इज बिलोंगिंग फ्रॉम दिस कम्युनिटी. He is considered to be untouchable, and that's the reason we cannot visit his home. और प्रॉपर ट्रीटमेंट नहीं मिलने के कारण उनकी मदर की डेथ हो गई. तब उन्होंने सोचा कि आज मेरे मदर का देहांत हो गया है, मदर मेरी चली गई है. मेरी मदर चली गई क्योंकि वो किसी दैहिक रोग से पीड़ित थी, लेकिन आज इस समाज को मेरी जरूरत है क्योंकि ये समाज एक मानसिक रोग से पीड़ित है. और ये मानसिक रोग इराडिकेट करने के लिए या फिर निकालने के लिए मुझे प्रयत्नशील हमेशा रहना चाहिए. ये जो एक इंसिडेंस था जो उन्होंने उनके ऑटोबायोग्राफी में उनके मदर के लिए उन्होंने लिखा है, वो भी कहीं ना कहीं इतने बड़े कंट्रीब्यूशन में, या फिर उनके मदर का डेथ भी उनके ये कंट्रीब्यूशन में बहुत बड़ा हिस्सा रखता है. because mother and son relation is a very unique relation in this world. और मदर का डेथ होना क्यों? क्योंकि उनको प्रॉपर ट्रीटमेंट नहीं मिल रहा है. व्हाई शी इज नॉट गेटिंग द ट्रीटमेंट? जस्ट ड्यू टू द अनटचेबल. क्योंकि ये कैटेगरी से बिलोंग करते हैं, इनके पास कोई वैद नहीं जाएगा. शायद अगर प्रॉपर ट्रीटमेंट मिल जाती तो उनकी मदर बच जाती, बट ड्यू टू दिस रीजन उन्हें ट्रीटमेंट नहीं दिया गया. And like she passed away. So that was again an incident he has quoted in his autobiography, कि जिसमें उन्होंने एक हमारा समाज जो मानसिक रोग से पीड़ित है, इसको निकालना बहुत ज्यादा जरूरी है, यही हमेशा अपने मन में रखा और यही चीज के साथ उन्होंने आगे आगे अपनी लाइफ में बहुत सारी चीजें जो है अचीव की. अर्ली लाइफ एंड एजुकेशन अगर हम देखते हैं तो उनके पापा, जैसे मैंने बताया, दैट ही वाज सर्व्ड इन द इंडियन आर्मी. ही इज बिलोंगिंग टू दिस कास्ट एंड आर्मी में होने के कारण वो स्पेशल प्रिविलेज उनको मिला एंड दैट्स द रीजन ओनली ही वाज एबल टू एंटर इनटू द स्कूल. भले ही वो बाहर जहां पे उनके चप्पल और जूते रखे हैं वहां बैठते थे, लेकिन एटलीस्ट उनको उनके पापा के पोजीशन के कारण तब अलाउड किया गया था टू हैव द एजुकेशन. मैम नेक्स्ट स्लाइड. आफ्टर हैविंग हिज एजुकेशन, उन्होंने एजुकेशन बहुत डिटर्मिनेशन से एजुकेशन किया. यहाँ पे भी उनके मदर का एक जो किस्सा है वो बहुत इंसिडेंटल है. उनके मदर, क्योंकि उनके मदर को पता था जब ये स्कूल में जाएगा, स्कूल में अनटचेबल अलाउड नहीं है. अभी भीमराव जी को अलाउ किया है, तो भीम अगर स्कूल में जाता है तो उसे बहुत चीजों का सामना करना पड़ेगा. ही वॉज अवेयर अबाउट दिस थिंग्स. सॉरी, हिज मदर वॉज अवेयर अबाउट दिस थिंग्स. तो जब भीमराव अंबेडकर स्कूल में पहले दिन जा रहे थे तो उनकी मदर ने उनको बोला दैट अगर तुम जा रहे हो स्कूल में, तुम्हें बहुत आज के प्रेजेंट सिनारियो में आज हम स्कूल में जो बुलिंग होती है, वी कैन कॉल इट एज ए बुलिंग, ठीक है, तब उसका एंटिसिपेशन उनकी मदर ने ऑलरेडी कर लिया था और उनको बोला था कि बच्चे तुम्हारे साथ इस तरीके का व्यवहार करेंगे. नॉट ओनली दिस स्टूडेंट्स, इवन द टीचर. लेकिन तुझे पढ़ना है, तुझे आगे जाना है, बस हार मत मानना. यही सब चीजें उनकी माँ ने उन्हें तब सिखाई और यही डिटर्मिनेशन रख के उन्होंने अपना एजुकेशन पूरा किया. बिकॉज भीमराव अंबेडकर उनकी पूरी कम्युनिटी में, आई गेस आफ्टर 13th kid, he is the 14th one who has survived and from his community he is चौथी पास, शायद वो पहले थे जो अनटचेबल्स में पास हुए थे, अनटचेबल्स में जिन्होंने एजुकेशन में कंट्रीब्यूशन किया था. अदरवाइज तब तो there were no right to have the education to the untouchables. And after that he has started his journey. He has determined so many things and he has not only went to, like, he has not only taken education in our country, he went to the New York, he went to this London Economics College, and there he has achieved his degree. The childhood caste discrimination I have earlier discussed with you. Ma'am, go to the next slide. That I have given in as this is the naming ceremony of the Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, I have given some of these incidents, some of these incidences in my slide. Now here I want to again quote that he has graduated from the economics and political science, and he has achieved his degree from the Columbia City. I have seen one YouTube video wherein one of the author has given one story about this Columbia University in the New York, wherein he said that I visited that university and I asked that I was very curious and I asked that whether this is the university from Dr. B.R. Ambedkar has completed his degree. So let's see and visit this university. तो जब वो यूनिवर्सिटी में गए तो उन्होंने पूछा कि डॉक्टर बी आर अम्बेडकर यहाँ पे पढ़े हैं, एंड the people which belong to that university that said कि Dr. B.R. Ambedkar जैसा student हमने पूरे अपने life में नहीं देखा. So this type of recognition Dr. B.R. Ambedkar is getting in other countries. And he found that ये जो Columbia University की जो library है, in that library they have given a particular wall to Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, and they have written all his contribution, and they are very proud to have this alumni or this student has completed his education from this university. Because he said that he studied for almost 21 years, 21 hours that time. And he contributed his knowledge to eradicate or to save our society from this type of mentality. अगर चाहे तो वो वही settle हो सकते थे, he can continue with them, but वो education, उन्होंने education लिया, education लेने के बाद he came to India and he started his work. Yes, ma'am, go to the next slide. Now he was not only contributed for, he is the person who has got a lot of scholarship, and on that scholarship basis he has went to the foreign education. He has completed an almost 3 degree and the 3 PhD degree from different universities from foreign and India, and from 1 PhD degree he was honored from if I'm not wrong, the Osmania University. So 1 honorary degree. So he is the qualified person, or the highest knowledgeable and the highest qualified person I found in this drafting committee. And he has anticipated, or he has thought about the future perspective, and therein many provision he has incorporated for the betterment of the society. If we see the Indian Constitution, then the Indian Constitution, if we see the fundamental right concept, then the fundamental right concept, the first right which we have got, or the first freedom which we have got in our Indian Constitution, is about the freedom about equality. The Article 14, Article 15, Article 16, the 17, and then it's about untouchable, and for that purpose we have the special laws also. So first he want to eradicate this type of discrimination which was existent and which he was witnessed that time, and he suffered a lot that time. If this type of equality is not given to the society, then this depressed class will never come forward and developed in this country. That's the reason I said that this concept of equality, which was Abraham Lincoln has started in the US, because Abraham Lincoln also wants an equality. They got a freedom, but there were no equality, or the equal rights were given. There were so many incidences they faced wherein the discrimination, after independence also in the America, the discrimination was there. And that's the reason the first thought Dr. B.R. Ambedkar is having about the freedom is about the equality. That here I have just given the information that about his education and all. Ma'am, can you please go to the next slide? Yes, you can also go to the next slide. In the School of London also, I have seen that they have given particularly, like in their library, they have given a particular door wherein Dr. B.R. Ambedkar's photo and his all information is given and about his contribution. Yes, this you can go to the next slide, ma'am. These are again an information about this LLD and this degree, because he is having a lot of degrees. That just his contribution, and see how this person has given an importance to the education, because he has the mindset, or he determined in the way that if you are educating, then and then only you can survive, you can develop. And this education means not only to have the degrees, but this education also contributes in a form of that being a person, you should treat the other person as a person. This is again the Shahu Chhatrapati Maharaj, like this Kolhapur Maharaj has given him the contribution about his first paper of Mook Nayak. Right? Then ma'am, go to the next slide. We will discuss, as the law students are there, we will more discuss about. Yes, go to the next slide. Yes, these are his habits that I'm discussing in through the various incidences, that he has a reading habit, and he's always contributed that the person should have. One incidences was, again, I have seen in his autobiography about one American author was there. I'm forgetting his name, John, the first initial of that person. He said that when in 1938, when I has visited to Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, then that time, he has a 8,000 book. See the reading habit of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar and the contribution of the book, as well as I can say that how the reading is very much important, and how the reading can be considered as a tonic for your mind. This is the best example I can say. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, when this Mr. John from the UK, he has visited, because he is the big follower of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, and he visited the home of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. That time, in 1938, he found that he has a library of the 8,000 book. And again, in 1956, when he visited, after his death, to his house, then he found that in this much of year, he has contributed, or he has almost 32,000 book in his library. So this shows that how Dr. B.R. Ambedkar is eager to learn or to have the new set of skills and to read the new books. Yes, ma'am, go to the next slide. That you all are aware that Dr. B.R. Ambedkar was the first law minister of this free India. And he has contributed a lot, as I have given the example of this Hindu Code Bill. Like, because he said that even though, like, he has not only contributed for the Dalit, he has contributed for the Hindu woman itself. If he has not passed the Hindu Code Bill, then again we were not, or we were not witness, or we were not be able to get what type of equality rights we had in the present scenario. He even urged that time about the UCC, wherein at least he thought that the different type of religion women should also get the equal rights. But that time the Sharia, because the Britisher has set the system about the personal law is depend upon your religion, and the all religion were treated as per their personal law. That was a divide and rule they had, and accordingly the different religion is having the different practices or the different law, and accordingly they were treated. But Dr. B.R. Ambedkar has insisted, the Jawaharlal Nehru, that you should pass this Hindu Code Bill, wherein the 4 set of laws are given for the Hindus, I can say, not specifically for the women, but the Hindus, and wherein this 4 bill were passed. But this was again not an easy task. The Dr. B.R. Ambedkar has struggled a lot to have this Hindu Code Bill, because it was introduced earlier also, but it was not passed and it was not given in recognition. And Mr. Nehru has made it as in their political agenda and their promise to the people that if I won the election, then I'll definitely, मैं अगर election जीता तो मैं Hindu Code Bill को apply करूँगा. But even after winning of the election, they have not given a recognition to this type of bills, and finally Dr. B.R. Ambedkar has given a recognition that I don't want to be a puppet in the hands of the few people. I want the rights to be recognized for my people. And he has sacrificed his post, and accordingly, finally, after a lot of struggle, the Hindu Code Bill was passed, and this 4 Act has came into an existence, that is Hindu Marriage Act, then Hindu Succession Act, Hindu Adoption and Maintenance Act, and this Untouchability Act. This is again the major contribution that we have in our legal system by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Go to the next slide, ma'am. Yes, this is the drafting committee and all that you all are aware. Ma'am, go to the next slide. As I shared with you the incidents of that, many people said that Dr. B.R. Ambedkar was the chairperson or the chairman, and being a chairman, उनको ज़्यादा काम नहीं करना है, बाकी लोग काम करके दे देंगे and then he'll go. But in the official communication which is given by T.T. Krishnamachari, he said that many of these people has not properly contributed because they have given a lot of excuses that time. अगर आप constitutional debate पढ़ते हो तो उसमें भी sometimes ये चीजें note है, because this is an official communication from T.T. Krishnamachari कि Dr. B.R. Ambedkar being a chairman, उनका contribution अगर हम देखते हैं तो constitution drafting में सबसे ज्यादा है. Being a chairman वो कह सकते थे that these people will work and I'll see. But this was not happen. That Dr. B.R. Ambedkar has anticipated many future aspects, and accordingly, he has drafted this constitution. So whatever the rights we are enjoying, whatever the privileges being a citizen we are enjoying, because he has not only thought about the system, he first thought about the being an individual. He want that the individual should get a recognition. If the individual should get in recognition, then the nation will develop. Otherwise, ये जो हमारा system है, ये जो हमारी सामाजिक और the social evil practices है, हम इसी में रह जाएंगे. And accordingly, उन्होंने बहुत future में आगे जाके ये सब चीजें सोची, और एक as we were also in the lot of year, we were also under the colonial impression and the colonial this British era, and we have witnessed this type of struggle in the era of this Britishers. और ये सब चीजें नहीं होनी चाहिए, इसीलिए डॉक्टर B.R. अम्बेडकर ने फ्यूचरिस्टिक एस्पेक्ट से काफी सारी चीजें सोची, और उसी का जो फ्रूट है वो आज का हमारा लेंथीएस्ट कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन जो है वो हमारे सामने है, जिसमें हमारे राइट्स, हर तरीके के प्रिविलेज, गवर्नमेंट का कंट्रोल, कैसे गवर्नमेंट इसमें इंटरफेरेंस नहीं करनी चाहिए, इसके कुछ प्रोविजन।
Madam, you're not audible.
Yes, madam, you are not audible. Madam, you are not audible. Bhavna, madam.
I hope there is some connectivity error with Bhavna, madam.
Yes, madam.
Hello, ma'am. Sorry, I lost my connection.
Yes, ma'am.
Now I'm audible?
Yes, ma'am, and you can continue.
Yes, ma'am. Go to the next slide, please. See, these are some of the glimpses that I have covered that which is incorporated in our constitution about abolition of the untouchability, the fundamental rights, wherein he has given a more importance to the equality, because if we are treating the people equal, then and then only they will grow. If there is an inequality, and that's the reason the concept of this reservation is given in our constitution, the concept of the reasonable classification, which is given under Article 14 of the Indian Constitution, which is specifically talking about, or that this provision which is given under Constitution, that was for a time being, but in the present scenario also, this people to whom this type of reservation is given, they are not in the equal footing, and that's the reason this reservation is continued. Because the Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, as he has a lot of degrees, he got a lot of education, he studied a lot, he did a lot of hard work, but still, that time, he has never gotten proper recognition in any of the societies. After completing his degree from the foreign, he came to India. As I discussed this incidence of the Baroda, that having this type of degrees from the foreign country, he has not got even a proper treatment, and there also, at the secretariat level also, he was treated as an untouchable. और ये सब चीजें उन्हें बहुत परेशान करती थी. And that's the reason उन्होंने सोचा कि this, if we are talking about the equality, but इतने सालों में जो विटनेस्ड है, या फिर इतने सालों में जो चीजें हमारी कंट्री में हुई है, उसमें ये पीपल हमेशा डिप्राइव थे, हमेशा नीचे थे. उनको आगे आने में, उनको लेवल में आने में समय तो लगेगा. And Indian people again, or the Indian societies are again a patriarchal societies, wherein a woman is, present scenario अभी तो है, काफी सारी चीजें recognized हो रही है, but that time if we think, then the women were also not getting equal rights in many ways, and that's the reason he kept a concept of the reasonable classification, wherein the woman, child, and the people, those who are deprived, will get an special protection or the special recognition. And for that purpose, if the government thinks that these people are required a special attention and the special provision needs to be incorporated, then this type of provision can be incorporated and they will try to be in the same platform. So that was the big aspects that Dr. B.R. Ambedkar is having that time. Then we have the concept of federalism. We have the equality opportunity that we have talked, and Article 32, which is considered to be the heart of the Indian Constitution, because अगर हमारे पास rights है, but उसे implement करने की अगर remedy नहीं है, the right will be ruined. उसका कोई importance ही नहीं है. And that's the reason he has given that if anybody is violating your fundamental right, even including the government, that the fundamental rights even are available against that mechanism only, right? So if these authorities are violating your rights, then you have a weapon in your hand under Article 32 that you can directly approach to the highest court of this country, that is the Supreme Court, to protect your rights. And under Article 226 of the Indian Constitution, you can go to the any high court for recognition of your rights. So this two weapon, or this basically Article 32, which itself considered to be the fundamental right of the each and every citizen of this country. Then he has again talked about the protective discrimination of the reservation, and therein we do have the reservation policies in our countries, and accordingly it's work. Ma'am, go to the next slide, please. Then we have the state socialism. I'm not going to discuss this type of again because the time constraint is there, and you all are aware about like you all are the student of the constitution, and this principles are already this studied by you. This directive principles, the national integration, and many type of this provisions which are incorporated in our constitution for the betterment of the people itself. Because if this principles were incorporated, this will give an the governance little check, and they will not interfere into the rights of the people or the rights of the citizen. Go to the next slide, ma'am. Article 370, I guess, will be the next slide. This is again the story that Article 370, which is recently in the 2019 is eradicated, and that time when Nehru has directed Sheikh Abdullah to consult Dr. Ambedkar to prepare the draft of the suitable article to be included in the constitution, then the Dr. Ambedkar has refused to oblige. He has these words that you want India to defend Kashmir, feed its people, undertake its all round development, and give Kashmir's equal rights to all over the country. But you do not want to rest of the India or the Indians to have the equal rights in the Kashmir. So I'm the law minister of this country. I cannot betray my country. So this was his opinion, and this was again like I can take a one lecture about this 370, but now this is not a right time to discuss about this issue. This is a very hot issue, I can say, and we will go to the next slide. But this was again an important, and this was the final announcement. Yes, ma'am, next. This is the preamble of our country. Next. Yeah, this was about the drafting committee and all. Go to the next slide, ma'am. This not much important about his contribution and all. Yes, ma'am, you can stop here. You can stop here. I have just shared the picture of his like the contribution and his yeah, the like wherever he has studied and all. I just need to conclude that Dr. B.R. Ambedkar is the person who contributed a lot, and whatever the freedom rights we are enjoying today is the gift which is given by this great man. Now, if I said that Dr. B.R. Ambedkar has inspired by three people, and these are the Gautam Buddha, because if we see he has attached with the Buddhism, and he has written a lot of about the Buddhism. But if we ask the Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, in his reading, in his writing also, it is reflect that he is inspired by Gautam Buddha, then Kabir, and Jyotirao Phule. And one more contribution, as I said, and I have discussed about the story of the Bhimai, when the one story of the Bhimai when she was on the deathbed, and the one story which was make a more sensible and the responsible citizen. And in the early childhood जब बीमाई ने उनको एक उपदेश किया था कि बेटा जब आप जाओगे स्कूल आपको बहुत इश्यूज जाएंगे, लेकिन इससे डरना नहीं है. आपको वही बैठ के पढ़ना है, आगे जाना है। डॉक्टर बी आर अम्बेडकर ने अपने स्टोरीज में लिखा है, क्योंकि सबसे पहली स्टोरी वो यही बताते हैं कि जब मैं स्कूल में जाता था और जब वो प्यून आता नहीं था जो पानी पिलाने वाला था, तो मैं दिन दिन भर बिना पानी का रह जाता था। उनके स्कूल में एक रूल था, जो पहला आएगा, जो स्टडीज में फर्स्ट आएगा, उन्हें सामने बैठने का अधिकार मिलेगा। लेकिन ये अधिकार तब डॉक्टर बी आर अम्बेडकर के लिए अवेलेबल नहीं था। ये सब चीजों का वो विटनेस थे, एंड दैट वाज टू द अर्ली चाइल्डहुड। आज के प्रेजेंट सिनारियो में अगर हम बच्चों को बोलते हैं और ऐसा अगर मिल जाता है और ऐसी चीजें अगर किसी बच्चे के साथ होती है, तो बच्चे से ज्यादा पेरेंट्स जाके वहां पे हल्ला करेंगे। बट दैट टाइम द फैमिली ऑफ द डॉक्टर बी आर अम्बेडकर हैज केप्ट द पेशेंस, बिकॉज अनटचेबल्स को एजुकेशन अलाउड नहीं था। फिर भी बाबा साहेब गए, बाबा साहेब ने एजुकेशन लिया, बाबा साहेब ने कंट्रीब्यूट किया, बाबा साहेब डट के रहे, और बाबा साहेब ने अपने जो गोल थे वो गोल को उन्होंने, ये सब चीजों को उन्होंने कभी बीच में आने नहीं दिया। अगर इन तीन व्यक्तियों के बारे में अगर हम देखें, तो तीन व्यक्तियों के लिए भी बाबा साहेब का जो लिटरेचर है, बाबा साहेब ने जो कंट्रीब्यूशन किया है, उसमें हम बहुत सारी चर्चा इस पर कर सकते हैं। बट अभी शायद वो टाइम नहीं है कि हम उन सब की चर्चा करें। जैसे गौतम बुद्ध हो गए, कबीर हो गए, ज्योतिराव फुले। ज्योतिराव फुले का एक इंसिडेंस मुझे यहाँ पे ध्यान आता है, जो डॉक्टर बाबा साहेब अम्बेडकर ने अपने इसमें भी लिखा था। क्योंकि डॉक्टर बाबा साहेब अम्बेडकर, ज्योतिराव फुले एक शादी में गए थे अपनी फ्रेंड की, और अपनी फ्रेंड की शादी में जाने के बाद उन्हें उनके जो रिलेटिव्स थे उन्होंने बहुत गलत ट्रीटमेंट दिया था, और वो गलत ट्रीटमेंट के कारण डॉक्टर ज्योतिराव फुले जो है, इन्होंने वुमेन्स एजुकेशन का जो पॉलिसी था या फिर वुमेन्स एजुकेशन के लिए जो कंट्रीब्यूशन था, वो ये इंसिडेंस कहीं ना कहीं मैटर करता है, ये उनके राइटिंग में रिफ्लेक्ट होता है। डॉक्टर बाबा साहेब अम्बेडकर का एक बहुत अच्छा सेंटेंस उन्होंने उनके इसमें बोला है। उनका बोलना है कि शिक्षा जो है वो शेरनी का दूध होता है, शिक्षा जो है वो शेरनी का दूध होता है, और जो इस शेरनी के दूध को पीता है वो शेरनी की तरह दहाड़ता है। तो उनका कहना यही था, अगर आपके पैर में चप्पल जूता नहीं हुआ तो चलेगा, बट आपके हाथ में किताब जो है वो होनी चाहिए। सो दिस वाज शोज दैट ही हैज गिवन अ लॉट ऑफ इंपॉर्टेंस टू द बुक्स। और जब भी हम बाबा साहेब की प्रतिमा देखते हैं तो बाबा साहेब के हाथ में हमेशा एक बुक दिखता है, एंड इट इज शोज कि अगर हमें बाबा साहब जैसा, हम बाबा साहब जैसे तो नहीं बन सकते, लेकिन बाबा साहब ने जो एक नींव रखी है उस पर चलने के लिए हमें एक अच्छा एजुकेशन लेना, बुक्स को पढ़ना, खुद को वो वे में प्रिपेयर करना बहुत ज्यादा जरूरी है। इस केस में एक रोजा पार्क्स करके एक यूएस में लेडी थी, शी वॉज अ ब्लैक लेडी, एंड उस लेडी का इंसिडेंस मुझे यहाँ पे याद आता है। दैट वाज अ बस इंसिडेंस, बिकॉज इन यूएस इवन आफ्टर द इंडिपेंडेंस this black people were not allowed to sit for the first line. like बस में अगर आपको बैठना है तो 4-5 लाइन छोड़ के ही आप बैठ सकते हो। This Rosa Parks was in, like, she was every day she used to travel through this bus in the US, and she said ki why to give this type of treatment if the equality is given. Then एक दिन ऐसे हुआ कि रोजा पार्क वही सीट पर बैठी रही और वो उठी नहीं। When the white people came, then bus driver came and asked that you should leave this seat because this is reserved for this people. She said, I'll not leave. Whatever you want to do, you can do. Then वो उठी नहीं। Then many of, just a minute, ma'am. Then she was witnessed for this incidents, and so many people, so many police people, and came and asked her to leave that seat. And these black people were started one revolution wherein they again fought about the equality. That हमें आपने independence दिया, but there is no concept of the equality is found in this state. Then Rosa Parks ने ये आंदोलन चालू किया. Then Abraham Lincoln, the then youngest leader, he has also contributed, and they have started again started that कोई भी या भी कोई black people ये बस से travel नहीं करेगा. So almost 381 days उन्होंने continuously they have started this revolution, or they have continued this revolution. And after that Supreme Court को see their consistency कि 381 days तक उन्होंने adjust किया. The black people were not allowed, they were not taken this journey of this US bus. उसमें नहीं जाना है हमको, हम हमारी private taxis से जाएंगे. It was expensive, and this black people, those who are a taxi driver, they have also contributed. So each and everyone has contributed in this revolutionary moment. And finally, the Supreme Court has took the decision that this law of keeping reserve, this 4 line for the white people will be eradicated. ये law जो है उसको eradicate किया गया, निकाला गया, और उसमें equality लाई गई. So this shows, why I'm giving this example, this shows that the history is not created in a day, and someone has to sacrifice. If the sacrifice, जैसे अगर रोजा पार्क्स ने उस दिन अगर आवाज नहीं उठाई होती तो शायद जो उनका सिस्टम है to keep the 4 lines reserve for this white people were continued. So someone has to take the initiative. And Dr. BABASAEB AMBEDKAR is showing the same thing, or he is through his literature, if we see, he's saying the same thing. That if you find this type of, agar hamare constitution mein, constitution has given a lot of rights to us in the present scenario also. In the present scenario also, I'm saying in this 21st century also, even we are talking about the equality, but we are not treating at our home itself, I can say, the equal treatment to our boy and the girl. शायद urban areas में अभी ये चीजें नहीं, we are not witness this, but in the village area we are still witnessing this type of discrimination. We are still witnessing that the boy can be roam outside by 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock, or whatever may be, but the girl should be at home 7 o'clock. So the constitution, or the Dr. BABASAEB AMBEDKAR, after drafting this constitution, he did his work. Now it is our responsibility to eradicate this type of social mindset which we have, wherein we are talking about, or wherein we are discriminating on the basis of the gender. ये girl है तो ये कर सकती है, ये boy है तो ये कर सकता है. So बाबा साहेब अम्बेडकर ने हमें कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन दी है, कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में राइट दिए है, बट हमारे सोशल माइंडसेट की वजह से sometimes we cannot enjoy the fruits of that rights or the fundamental rights which are given over there. So he did his work. Now it is our responsibility to contribute in the present society to eradicate this type of inequalities which we are finding in our surroundings. Not only I'm saying that in a legal ways, but घर में भी बहुत बार ये सब चीजें हमारे साथ होती है, तो we should try to implement, जो बाबा साहब ने हमें एक विजन दिया है, वो विजन को इम्प्लीमेंट करने का एटलीस्ट रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी हमने करना चाहिए. बाबा साहब ने बहुत कंट्रीब्यूट कर लिया. नाउ इट इज अवर रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी टू कंट्रीब्यूट एंड टू गिव द सोसाइटी which is free from this type of aspects. Now, I'll conclude my session with the saying that this proverb which is given by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar only, कि शिक्षा शेरनी का दूध है और उस दूध को पीकर आप शेरनी जैसे दहाड़ो, और ये शेरनी जैसे दहाड़ने के लिए आपको किताब हाथ में होना बहुत ज्यादा जरूरी है. अगर आपके हाथ में किताब नहीं है तो ये कंट्रीब्यूशन या फिर ये जो हम चीजें कह रहे हैं वो शायद एग्जिस्टेंस में नहीं आएगी. तो इट इज आवर कंट्रीब्यूशन दैट. इसमें एक गाना मुझे वो और याद आता है, दैट पढ़ना लिखना सीखो ओ मेहनत करने वालों, पढ़ना लिखना सीखो ओ मेहनत करने वालों. अगर आगे जाना है तो हमें पढ़ना पड़ेगा, मेहनत करनी पड़ेगी. उनका एक जो कंट्रीब्यूशन था कि पैर में चप्पल ना हो तो चलेगा बट हाथ में किताब होनी चाहिए, और वो किताब आपका छत बनाने के लिए नहीं है, लेकिन वो किताब आपको अपनी जो पर्सनालिटी है, ठीक है, हम जैसे धूप में तपते हैं तो धूप में तप के हमें परेशानी होती है, लेकिन अगर हम पढ़ लेंगे तो हमारा जो ऑरा है वो पढ़कर धूप जैसा निखरेगा, या फिर धूप जैसे हमें हर चीज के लिए धूप जरूरी होती है, वैसे पढ़ाई हर चीज के लिए जरूरी है और हमें इस वे में कंट्रीब्यूशन करना जरूरी है. सो विद दिस आई जस्ट कंक्लूड माई सेल्फ एंड आई थैंक टू द ऑर्गेनाइजर फॉर गिविंग मी द अपॉर्चुनिटी and to contribute from my side with my small knowledge about Dr. B.R. Ambedkar and his contribution. As this was not completely a legal lecture, as we are talking about the naming ceremony of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar as a Marathwada University. So I have given a more importance to the Dr. B.R. Ambedkar's contribution. So thank you everyone. Thank you Principal Ma'am, and thank you to the organizer. Have a nice day to everyone.
Thank you so much, madam. That was indeed a very informative session, and your insights about the contribution of Dr. BABASAEB Ambedkar in making of the Indian Constitution will help our students in enhancing their knowledge. I thank you once again. I also thank our principal, Dr. Nandedkar madam, for arranging this program. I thank my colleagues for their constant support and cooperation. I also thank all the students for their presence on this program. Once again, I thank one and all and wish everyone on the occasion of the 30th Name Extension Day of Dr. BABASAEB Ambedkar, Marathwada University. Thank you once again. So I now declare the program as the program to be ended. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, madam.
Thank you, ma'am.